Hey, hello everyone. Welcome to Excel Analyst. Today we'll look at a very important Excel function Xlookup, which is highly used, and this is an advanced version of both VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP. In our coming videos, we will also do some deep dive into some of the complex use cases for this Xlookup, which will really make our life easier. Without further delay, let's straight away dig into an example and we will see the very basics of as to how XLOOKUP works in real world. Yeah. So what you see here on my screen is a basic sales data for a given week in the month of December. As you can see, we have the sales date, invoice number, the product code, and the quantity sold. What is fundamentally missing here is the total sales value, and also nobody can really make out what is this product code, which product is actually sold. However, we have been given a master data where we have the details of the product code, we have the product name, and the associate selling price per unit. Okay, now what we could do to enhance this table and to make it more meaningful, we could add something like I could, let's say I could add a column here, and we could say as product name. Okay, and then we could bring in the total sales value. Okay, sales value is nothing but quantity multiplied by the respective selling price unit. So let's start with bringing the product name here. So we will start with the xlookup function. We write xlookup, and let's see what all the arguments the xlookup takes in. So it basically looks up for a lookup value. So in our case, we have the product code here in this table. So, and the source table where we have the product master has the P7 and the product name. So we will say we want to look up for P7, that is this product code. And if you go to the next argument, it asks where do you want to look this up for. So it is there in column C. So we just select this column, and I fix these values here. Okay, and then basically it says which column you want it as an output. Unlike VLOOKUP, we can, in this case, we can very specifically pinpoint it to a certain column rather than selecting the whole table. So in this case, we need the product name. So I say product name, and I fix this column as well. One thing you need to note here, that the lookup array and the return array both should be of equal length. You cannot have let's say C9 selected till C20, and here you have till 18. It cannot be, it will throw an error. So it should be the length, the selection range should be equal, right? So, and next argument, let's see, if not found, in case the product code is not found in the product master, what do you want to return as the product name? So this is a new feature. This is not available in VLOOKUP. So this is basically, if not found, is something called error handling. Um, what happens if I don't give anything? Let's check that. So P7 is fetching rain jacket because P7 is rain jacket. Now let's say I put it as, let's say, P100. Okay, so it throws an error, right? um, to avoid this particular error, so in xlookup we have an option to give an argument, if not found, what should be the value. And please note, anything in these square brackets are optional entries, these are not mandatory. So let's say if the product code is not found in the product master, I would like to say new product. Okay, next argument is match mode. So what kind of match you want? So in our case, we want an exact match, that is 0. If you don't mention it also, it will take 0 as the exact match. Otherwise, you can say exact match or the next smaller item, exact match or next larger item, and wildcard. We will take a look at this example in few minutes. Uh, right now, we go with the default match. So let's say it's 0 in our case, right? And search mode. So in search mode, how do you want it to search? So by default, search is first to last. It reads the table from top to down. You also have an option where you want to search it from bottom to top. There are different use cases for that. And similarly, you have a binary search option where it searches based on how the table is sorted in the target table, right? So either on the ascending or the descending order. Excuse me. So in our case, it is top to bottom. Actually, you don't have to mention any of these three arguments here. You can skip altogether, but um, for the purpose of demo, I have selected it. So let's say rain jacket, and let me drag it down through. Now, if we get an argument, let's say like last time, so we get it as you can see, new product here. Let me put it back to P7. So we have the product name. Now let's try to get the total sales value. So total sales value is nothing but the quantity multiplied by the selling price. The quantity is in this column, the selling price per unit is in this column. So easiest way to do it will be we multiply this quantity with the selling price. So we have to fetch the selling price here. So we will again go by Xlookup, right? And we look up for the product code again, and lookup array, as you know, it is in column C. We fix this column with F4, and then we want to fetch the corresponding selling price, which is in column E. So, and you can fix it with F4 again, right? And if not found, I want to return a value 0. Okay, because it's a new product. You can set to any default value what you want, and I don't want to mention about the match mode or the search mode and so on. So let's close this and enter. So we have the total sales value coming in here. Let me format this into the number formatting. So it is Control Shift 1, which will format it in number format with decimal values and the thousand separators. Yeah. So now we have the total sales value, and let's put a quick total. Alt equal to gives you the total sales value. So this is the total sales value. Now, what if your boss asks you, hey, can you get the cost per product, the total, cost of sales? And as you can see in the current product master, I don't have the cost per unit. And you go back to the IT team, or you go back to the owner of this master data tables, and you ask, can you give me the total cost per unit, right? And in real world, we see that most of the times the data what we get are not in the format what we need it, right? Let's say they send you a file which looks like this, where they have added the cost per unit at the beginning of the table rather than at the end of the table, right? Now, if it was a traditional VLOOKUP, you cannot get the value from left side of the argument. It always reads to the right, correct? So, but in Xlookup, we are allowed to fetch data from any position, be it either vertically or horizontally. In few minutes, we'll look at how we can fetch the data horizontally as well. So quickly, let's bring total cost, right? So it will be again quantity multiplied by the cost per unit. So again, cost per unit, we'll look for the product code, and lookup array, we will look up it in the product code, that's column C. We fix this, and what do we want to fetch? We want to fetch the cost per unit, which is here. We fix this again. And what do you want to return? So let's say if it's a new product, I just want to return 0. Yeah. And we get the total cost. So let me double click and bring it down and format it again, Control Shift 1. And now you have the cost per unit. Similarly, now it's easy to calculate profit. So profit is nothing but total sales minus the total cost. And yeah, here we have it, the total uh, profit. Now, what if someone comes and says, hey, we want to simulate a situation. What would be our sales value and what would be our profit if we had given a discount based on the quantity sold? Okay, so let's take a hypothetical situation, right, where they say quantity sold If it is up to 5 quantities, then discount should be, let's say, let's go with 0% discount. There is no discount given. And if it is up 5 to 10, right, above 5 and up to 10, then we would like to give a discount of, let's say, 5%, right? And if it is 15, above 10 and up to 15, then we would like to give a 10% discount. And they say anything above 15, right, is, let's say, 20% as the discount. Okay. um, Now you have this data and you want to simulate it, and how do we get it? Because now this data is in kind of a horizontal format where the quantity sold is in horizontal format and not in the vertical, right? So no worries, let's see how we can get it. Discount, let's use the xlookup function again. We look up xlookup. Here now we are looking for the quantity sold because the discount is directly related to the quantity sold. So in our case, quantity sold is 9. We look up for 9. So basically, if it is 9, it has to fetch 5, right? Because it is up to 10. Let's see how we can use xlookup to do that, right? So look for this. Where do you want to look it for? We want to look it here in the quantity sold. Let's fix this. And what do you want to return? You want to return the discount percentage, right? And if not found, so basically if anything above 15, as we said, it will be a 20% discount. So I'll just put 0.2, which is nothing but 20%. Now comes the interesting part. Now we can't go with an exact match like earlier we did, because earlier we wanted an exact match. Because here we can't go with an exact match because we don't have something called 3 or 9 in this table, right? And it always rolls up to 5 it is 0, if it is up to 10 it is 5 to 5%, and so on. So what we'll go is with the third option, where look for either an exact match or the next larger item. So if so what technically happens now here is the xlookup will look at this number 9, it goes and checks here. 9 is not there, but what is the next largest number? 10. Okay, then it pulls the discount of 5%. So let's see how it works. So I put 1 here as the exact match or next larger number, and search mode, I wanted to search from top to down, right? So let me close this bottom. So as you can see, it fetched 5%. Let's drag it down and let me convert this into a percentage. It's quick. Control shift and 5 will convert it into a percentage. Now let's see what happens if I make it, let's say, 19. So automatically, as you can see, it picked 20% discount because it's applying this logic where because it's not finding 19 here, it is greater than 15, so it's going with 19, right? So this also helps. Now let's say what would have been the sales value. So sales value with discount, right? Which will be nothing but this multiplied multiplied by 1 minus discount value. So your sales value would have been 1368 for the first item. Let's again format it quickly. Control shift 1, right? Let me put this back to, I think it was 7 quantity, or yeah, rain jacket, I think it was 1 quantity. Let's put it. So now you can see, now the management can see what would have been their sale price and what would have been the cost. The cost remains same, there is no change in the cost. So basically we would have ended up with a profit of 1059 instead of 1088. Now we can go ahead and also check here. So what if we had given some discount, let's say 2% here, what would have happened? So automatically it gets updated in real time, you can see this. So friends, what we have seen now is the very basics of xlookup. We have seen how we can fetch the data in a vertical form as well as horizontal form, and also how we can fetch the data when the lookup value, right? The value to be fetched is on the left side of the lookup value in the source table. So that's what we have seen here today. In my coming videos, we will further deep dive on some of the use cases, complex use cases where we can really put XLOOKUP to its maximum potential and see what other scenarios you can use in your day-to-day work. Yeah, thanks for watching today. If you like the content, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. See you soon.